What if I told you that this symbol was never about a human son dying on it and then resurrecting 3 days later, but in fact has always been about the literal sun, that one, dying and resurrecting on the solstices and equinoxes every year. Here we can see there's clearly a cross made by the sun's path on its ecliptic at the equatorial marks and the tropical marks, because the sun dies and resurrects on each one of these marks when it's entering Aries, when it's entering Cancer, when it is entering Libra, and when it is entering Capricorn, creating the 4 points of the cross. These are time-lapse photos of the sun on its path on its ecliptic as it's going all the way up to the Tropic of Cancer for the summer solstice, and then all the way down into the Tropic of Capricorn for the winter solstice. The sun is always moving in this Analima, or in this 8-like figure, and the top is always shorter than the bottom of this 8 that it creates. And as it's traveling through this Analima on its ecliptic path, it is always moving through different gates in which it rises through, as described to us by Enoch in the book of Enoch. Analima proves that the sun is always rising from and shining from different points. And as it is doing that, it takes 3 days to move through its different gates, which is why it says that the sun dies and resurrects in 3 days when it does die on the 4 different points of the cross. And as the sun is passing through its ecliptic, it's not just passing through these 4 points, but these 4 points really just divide the 12 signs of the zodiac, aka the Mazaroth, described to us in Job 38:32, that God asked Job, he said, "Job, canst thou call henceforth the Mazaroth?" This is the exact Mazaroth that God was talking about to Job, and the exact Mazaroth that the Son of God dies and resurrects on the equatorial and tropical marks on its cross, as well as it passes through the 12 signs of the zodiac, the 12 disc apples, because the zodiac wheel is truly a disc, a cyclical disc, because ancient Hebrew and ancient Near East thought saw life as cyclical, whereas Western Christianity teaches that life is linear, having a beginning and an end, selling us this fearful idea of hell, so we better accept our Savior now, otherwise we will have hell for eternity. Back to the Analima. The Analima proves to us that the sun is always moving through different gates. And so as it is rising through these 4 different points of the equatorial and the tropical cross marks, it is moving through a different gate every single time that it rises from the horizon, because it looks like it moved placements. And so the ancients would say that the Son of God died and resurrected 3 days later as it rose again through a different gate. Well, my Christian friends, when you see this symbol, you should think of none other than the actual Son of God, the light of the world that shines its light on the world and can walk on water as it's rising above the horizon in front of water, and its reflection looks like it's walking on water. You should think of none other than the true Son of God that dies and resurrects on the 4 equatorial and tropical marks as it's passing through the 12 signs of the zodiac, as it is the 13th. It is the sun. It is the Son of God passing through the 12, right? On the hero's journey, learning and growing through these 12 different seasons, as we all learn and grow through the 12 different seasons, as we are all many sons of God. For those with eyes to see and ears to hear, I hopefully have demystified this spirituality for you. You've gone from believing in something to now knowing something. Why? Because for the age of Pisces, the mantra for Pisces is I believe. But with belief also comes doubt. So you're believing and then you're doubting, and then you're doubting and then you're believing. And you're believing and doubting and doubting and believing, and you never know exactly which one to choose, so you're always dealing with one or the other. And you're wishy-washy in your beliefs and your doubts. But when you know the true science of light and the true science of the Son of God, there is no mystical question that you need to ask yourself about your destination after this life, because you go from believing to knowing. Final recap, the 4 points of the cross is none other than the 4 points of the equinoctial and tropical markers of the sun dying and resurrecting on the cross of the zodiac wheel as it's passing through its path on the ecliptic through the 12 signs of that wheel, aka the 12 disc Iples. We must evolve from just believing in the unseen and transcend simply believing and step into full knowing. This is the mantra for the Age of Aquarius, and we are in the Age of Aquarius. If you want to evolve from simply theorizing about your soul's purpose on this planet and go from believing to fully knowing what you are supposed to do here, why you came here between the bridge of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and how you can play your part the best, playing to your strengths and minimizing your weaknesses. Tap the link in my bio here. Go to the bottom right and you can book a full natal medical astrological reading here. We'll talk about your strongest signs, what your ruling planet is, what your strongest houses are, your strengths and your weaknesses, and how you can cater to both of those to manifest your greatest desires in this life. Now, we are not theorizing anymore. We are transcending belief and stepping into knowing. I'll see you there. Peace.